start by putting a simple knot in the end. Call it a safety knot so that when we put the slip knot on, the slip knot does not pull off. Keep it as close to the end as you can. Now we'll make the slip knot where we create a loop. Cord goes around, goes through that loop. You've created another loop in doing that. And you're going to go through that, pull it through, and now you have a slip knot. For the crumb brush, I use approximately 0.8 ounces of fiber. Now I'll have to bring the cord back a little bit and wind it back. Cord goes down approximately 1.25 inches. Nice and tight. You can tell from the tension. First revolution here is not going to be tight because I want to grab that knot and try to pull it down into the fiber so we don't have a lump. I'm going to advance a total of 4 turns, so that's 3. There's 4. The knot is now buried down inside the fiber, so there's no lump. Now we'll start putting on the split stalks. Typically you can do this with 7 stalks. If you're using skinny stalks, it's going to take probably 9. The end of the stalk goes just at or just past where the cord started.
You want to make sure it's an odd number, whatever it is.
You're right, you always have to have an odd number in order to be able to weave. And you want to choose the last one so it just fills in that void nice and tight. Now while it's still under tension, we're going to advance a total of 4 turns. We've already had one on there. 2, 3, 4. From here we're going to bring the cord back down over the top of the fibers here just by twisting it and bringing it down. Again, 4 turns. 4 is arbitrary. You can do as many as you want depending on the look you're looking for. Okay, there's our 4 turns. Now we're ready to start folding the stalks over. So we're going to fold it over like that, putting a little tension on it, putting a groove in it. Kind of have to watch how straight these go on. Kind of finesse them a little bit with your thumb, keep them straight. Okay, so now we have all the stalks folded over. Now we're going to wrap this again with 4 turns. One's already on it, so there's 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put my thumb on the stalk that just precedes where I would have started the 5th wind. This is where I'm going to start weaving, or plaiting, I guess they call it. We're going to lift that one and just start our weave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it a little tug, kind of sets it. Okay, I did 21 weaves because I like to have 3 exposed threads. If I use 7 stalks and 3 exposed threads, that's 21 weaves. So now we're ready to put in the pull string. That will go under the cord that you're wrapping with. Keep a nice even tension and try to go around it as evenly as you can so that when you come all the way around, you come in contact with where you started. And again, 4 turns, that's 1, 3, 4. I'll put my thumb on this to keep it as tight as I can so it doesn't loosen up. Open up the pull string. Burn the end. When we burn it, it keeps it from fraying. If we use the scissors, oftentimes or a knife, it'll fray and it gets awkward to work with. It goes through the loop from the pull string, and you just pull it underneath those last 4 wraps. This is just a dowel with a slot in it. Allows me to wrap this around. I'm going to grab the broom down here. Give it a quick tug, tightens it up. I'm going to bring the cord back in so it lays right into that little valley between those 2 stalks. Carefully sever this, trying not to cut the strings above it so you don't have to do it over again. Typically when you do it, these things have a tendency to twist and go on a little helix, so you can take and just twist them back, try to keep it straight. Now we're ready to cut the excess stalks off. You'll always cut through some, but you want to be careful so as not to cut any more than you can. Keep it minimal. So now we're getting ready to cut these off. Some people just cut them off square and leave them. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to start up here about 3/8 of an inch or so with my thumb on the fibers. When I get close, I'm going to move my thumb down so I don't cut it when it breaks through, because I never know when the knife is going to actually cut through that. The next thing is going to be cutting these up. We're going to form a little cone on the top. I'm going to twist the broom in this direction while the knife is going this way. Again, my thumb is down here where the knife can't get to it. And if it slips through, it still misses my thumb. Now we just kind of form a little bump on the top or a little crown. Again, it's all personal preference, what you like to do with it. Sometimes it goes real easy, sometimes you just have to keep tweaking it till you're satisfied. And that's good enough. And then at that point, you're ready to come over and we're going to pound this down with a leather hammer. It's going to take this and flatten it out a little bit, and if there's any gaps in here, it'll tend to close those. It'll look a more finished look when you're done. Not hitting it hard, it's kind of like a power hammer. I also like to go over where the weave is. Not hard, that sort of sets the cord, makes it a little more visible. So all that's left is to, if there's any splitting of the stalks when we folded them over, we'll just take a pair of scissors. and kind of trim them up a little bit, get the fuzzy portions of it off. And at that point, we would consider it ready to stitch.